In today's video, we're going to talk about Zack Snyder. SnyderCon 2 has just happened this weekend in America. They screened Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is a GOAT level movie. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube boys? You here if you are new around, and make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture based content that I try to cover personally on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below what is your opinion about the future of DC as a whole. And also, if you could, check us out on Instagram at WarStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also, if you could, check us out on Twitter, WarStewG. Right, let's get into this video. So, depending on how I edit this video, I may play the clip before, or if I haven't played the clip, yo, editor WarStew, insert it right now. So, within this clip, it has caused controversy. Well, not really, actually. If you actually listen to what Zack Snyder said, he didn't actually say anything. I've been sent this clip on Instagram, on Twitter, even people be sending me on TikTok at WarStew. I don't post, I just have the handle. I don't actually use it, but I do check it occasionally. So there's a clip going around where absolutely nothing is said. Zack Snyder has repeatedly said the same thing since the interviews, the post-interviews he did back in 2021 when we all seen Zack Snyder's Justice League and we got the famous line, "Ready the Armada, we're gonna do this the old way." Cool. I'm a very big fan. I want to see Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, but taking something out of context. I don't understand if you know what context means. He was asked a lot of what if scenarios. What if there was a blank check? He didn't actually say, if there was a blank check, I'd make Justice League 2 and 3, because a lot of people don't understand how productions work and how Hollywood works and how movies are made. Warner Brothers Discovery owns the rights to all these characters. Even if Zack Snyder wanted to do this, hell, even Steven Spielberg has an interest in DC. Doesn't actually mean he's going to make a movie, does it? No. Of course, Zack Snyder's still interested in continuing his work, and he has repeatedly said this. So I don't understand why this is going around the internet. I knew I was going to get asked a bunch of questions about this. So Zack didn't actually say anything. And that's one thing I'm a little bit disappointed with. A lot of the questions that Zack Snyder was asked about the future of what would happen in his Justice League 2 and 3 and questions like that, he didn't actually answer any questions at all. Like, he didn't really say anything. So he was asked a question about a third-party platform outside of Warner Bros. Discovery, if he would be cool with running it, completing his work. And Zack said this back in 2021. I can recall at least 3 times Zack said the literal same answer, but he didn't actually say anything. Respectfully, Zack Snyder danced around the question and was like, whatever way these ideas would have been made, of course I would. Okay, let's read. Whatever way these ideas would have been made. He's talking about something hypothetically, of course I would. Now, everyone runs with this story and everyone comes back to James Gunn saying that they've had a conversation and Zack hasn't shown any interest in making Zack Snyder Justice League 2 and 3. I don't actually think James Gunn was misleading or telling a lie or anything. So now you're going to see the famous line, but James Gunn said Zack hasn't shown an interest. I don't believe Zack's rocked up to James Gunn or sent him a message going, James Gunn, can I make Justice League 2 and 3? No, because Zack kept alliterating. He kept saying, my Rebel Moon stuff, my Rebel Moon. It was almost disrespectful. People kept bringing up, yo, but we continue this. He's literally got a new universe coming out called Rebel Moon, right? That's going to be what he's focused on for the next couple of years. Sure, hypothetically speaking, in an Elseworld storyline, yes, this could happen. But I don't think you guys understand how Hollywood works. This cannot happen without Warner Brothers Discovery producing the movie Justice League 2 and 3 hypothetically. So it's okay for you to ask questions to Zack, but he didn't really answer anyone's question because he doesn't have the answer that you want. If he says, yeah, restore the SnyderVerse, cool, you win. If he says no, you'll start attacking him. So realistically, I think asking Zack in person this question, or asking him full stop, it's kind of disrespectful because the event was supposed to be a celebration of the work he's done to raise money for suicide prevention. And that is literally all it was. This will probably be the last video I talk about on the SnyderVerse, period. Now, I know I've said this before, but it probably will be the last video I make, unless Zack comes out and says, I want to do it, let's have a conversation. But he would have to have a conversation with Warner Bros. Discovery. Nothing to do with James Gunn, because James Gunn does not own the IP. It's all to do with what Warner Bros. Discovery wants. And if the numbers were really as high as what a lot of people said, David Zaslav would have been on the phone straight away. And Zack directly, I see this line going around, Zack Snyder directly conveyed he still has interest in DC. Of course he does. He was literally part of Man of Steel that came out nearly 10 years ago, part of BVS, part of Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's always going to have an interest in DC. So it's okay going, ready the Armada. Yo, if the Armada get ready, I'd be down. I'd really be down. But it's almost a point now where you've got to move on because it's a pipe dream. Really is. Even if they were hypothetically to release a comic book or animated series, you would not be happy with that because you want a live action show. You want a live action movie. Cool. Of course Ben Affleck's down. I guarantee all the cast and crew would be down. But I'm going to tell you a massive spoiler. The studio, the company that owns the franchise, isn't down. So we got some new details about Justice League 2 from Chris Terrio, which is kind of irrelevant because we've always known it's going to be Darkseid based. Terrio said Justice League 2 would explain the confusion about how Darkseid forgot Earth. He also said it would have more background on Apocalypse and some of the power shifts, possibly New Genesis, more details of Darkseid, other elite people like Granny Goodness and Decid. I mean, cool. We all want this. Trust me, we all want this. But hypothetically, it's never gonna happen. And I hate to say it. I hate to be the ringleader. I hate to be the one to tell you, going, yeah, Zack Snyder is still interested. Yes, so is Deborah Snyder. So is everybody that worked on that project. So is Henry Cavill. So is your boy War Stew. I'm interested in that. As I've said for years, I want the Armada to be ready. I want to see it. It's just not gonna happen. And you need to start being realistic. I know this video is probably gonna get a lot of downvoted dislikes, but I just need to say it. It's not gonna happen, lad. So let's hear from someone who actually went to this event. The Geeky Cast had this to say. To be clear, I love Snyder's work and his world he's built, but never once did I assume anything was going to be announced there. So this is coming from someone who actually was there physically in person. In the future, maybe. But as for now, at SnyderCon, no. Still had a blast. So I don't know how all these other people that went to this event have got the perception that Zack Snyder told them personally in a one-on-one conversation he wants to complete it. Of course he does. That's nothing new. That's old news, bro. That is really old news. The Geeky Cast also had this to say. Nothing was restored, by the way. Just hopeful futures. Don't listen to anyone who said something was said because it wasn't. And guys, I know I said something was going to be announced right at the end of the event, but he didn't say it. So there's no point me saying what was going to be said because you wouldn't have been happy with what I heard anyway. That's why I didn't actually say it. But he didn't say it. I don't know why he didn't say it, but I don't think that adds any more precedence onto the fact that he didn't say it. But he basically did say it, but he just didn't come out and say it. I think he's too nice. He just needs to come out and be like, yo, it's never going to happen, but it is what it is. So there's also this interesting story that is going around from what was said at SnyderCon, but they didn't actually say that. Director Zack Snyder reveals plans where Zeus, the Greek god and Wonder Woman's father, would have been Kryptonian, making heroes' powers a result of her alien heritage. Now, if you actually listen to what was said, this was a hypothetical idea, right? He said there was an idea. It wasn't actually factual or anything like that, but people obviously like to do something called clickbait. No idea what that is, though. So it's context. It's always context. Every time Zack says something, he says, yeah, I'd finish it if I could. That was said in 2021. Nothing new. Zack Snyder said Zeus would have been Krypton. Ares would have been the one that crashed. Yeah, this was an idea. It was never actually going to happen, but a lot of people seem to kind of add their hearsay and stuff into it. Remember, Gal Gadot was supposed to be at this event as well and stuff like that. That never happened. Green Lantern scene was supposed to happen. That never happened. To be honest, I don't understand why Zack couldn't really answer any question. He didn't answer any questions about, yo, what was supposed to happen in this scene? What was supposed to happen in this scene? And then they were saying stuff like, oh, well, I can't really say that because that could be a potential story you may hear about in the future. Which, it's given out false hope by saying things like that, because he knows cool. He's got a good relationship with Pam Abdul and Michael DeLuca, and that is why they could screen these movies in public theaters, because without their permission, the Zack Snyder Justice League movie would never be allowed to publicly be screened. But people coming out saying there is so much information to come out from this event and stuff like that. Literally, I've told you everything that came out from this event. Zack said in a hypothetical situation, if it was possible, he would do it. But he also said that back in 2021. So realistically, nothing new was said. Now, if you went to this event and you had a cool time, that's awesome, because that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a celebration to end the SnyderVerse, end the trilogy, celebrate the trilogy. It's cool that Ray Fisher and Ben Affleck got to go there. But based on what videos and the online stream, they didn't actually say anything. Again, Ben Affleck didn't say anything about what could have happened to his character and stuff, because for some reason, they didn't really answer questions in a way that you should have answered questions in a Q&A. Kind of made it like pointless, if you ask me. But respectfully, it is what it is. If you had a cool time, that's it, a cool time. And yeah, I'm happy for you if you got to go for it. So don't take this video personally. I'm just being 100 with you guys of what I actually think. For me, the SnyderVerse, it won't be restored. And if it does get restored in the future, that doesn't actually make me wrong. I'm just reading the room here. At the moment, there is nothing to talk about. It's all what if scenarios. If DC wants to do a what if Justice League 2 and 3, I'm down. Marvel does the what if like animated series, it's quite cool. DC do a what if for Justice League 2 and 3, I'm down. As long as Zack's kind of involved, or else it'd be kind of pointless. But I think the only way something gets restored is potential animated series or a potential comic book run, but that will be it. So guys, please don't comment me down below. But what, Stu, you've always supported the SnyderVerse. I'm not necessarily not supporting it. It's just until there's actual factual evidence with evidence and stuff you can reference, factual evidence, other than Zack just saying, yeah, I'd be down in this hypothetical situation, or if you write me a blank check, I'd be down. Well, that situation is kind of irrelevant, because you've got to get the permission of the studio, because Warner Bros. Would have to produce it alongside you. So it's not a simple case of, yo, it's a money problem. It's a, the studio doesn't want anything to do with it problem, and you can't do it without the studio. Selling the license to Netflix is never going to happen. And if you believe that, you don't understand how movies or how productions actually work. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WarStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, What's Today? And I'll catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.